Hello. Welcome to the stream. Been a while. Alright. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one today. In terms of the visuals that I gotta be making. But we'll see how it goes. I'll just move these aside for now. Yeah. It's I don't even know how to word it. Pretty disturbing, but also disgusting at the same time. The story itself. The backdrop isn't gonna be as bad. Like 35 should be good. Put this aside. Yep. I'll have to figure out some stuff here, but I will get there eventually. Try this first. I guess an array could work before the subdivision and also merge it. There's a randomize option now, but I don't know how well I can do it with this specific situation. I would need it to be either perfectly 90 degrees or like 180, kind of like that. It's gonna be in-betweens as well, which I don't really want. Added really cool stuff in this version. Getting pet symmetry vibes. I'm not sure what that one is. Okay. So I think I'll need to actually move these further down. Then I need to have a hair system on this, which there should be an option here for modifiers somewhere, I think, if I remember correctly. Yes, yeah, this one. Okay. So now, next thing would be to figure out how to make this look like dogs, like fur, basically, like this, sort of like this. Thanksgiving. We don't really have that here, but thank you. There's like a Brownian noise somewhere here, I think. Should be at least. I remember it was in this area somewhere, I just don't know where. I don't know if you celebrate. Yeah, no, we don't. We don't have that in my country. But hopefully people have fun, whoever does celebrate it. Yeah. Uniform endpoint. Essentially I'll just have to like mess with this until I get the desired result. A bit too clumpy, I think. Two segments. Was it this one that adds quality? Or was it somewhere else? Maybe this. Not exactly. There's multiple areas for different steps that you gotta remember here. So I sometimes forget which one's which. I don't know what this one does, like it doesn't change anything at the moment, at least. And then this one's like... it changes something, but it's not really the quality of this. You know how this is like really sharp right here? Like turning right there. I'm trying to make that smooth. Well, it's trans steps, I think. Yeah, there we go. We don't want it to be too like roughed up, so I should tweak it as much as I can. And it would be nice if I could make them like lie down this way. Hopefully nobody's got trypophobia. I guess this could trigger it, maybe, I don't know. Could, I guess, I have no idea, since I don't really have trypophobia myself. Maybe let's add another array before this one. Okay, this is gonna start to lag a little bit, I think, as it is doing it right now. But I might reduce the amount of... what would you even call this, like... what is it called, like a mound or something? A hole in the ground. Because I don't want it to be too repetitive. So I'll just like start with a few amounts of it and see how that goes. Just get these out as well. Would be nice if I could figure out like a more random way of doing this rather than having to clone it. Technically, I could just do it by hand after applying the cloning, like the array, so that I can just pick exactly what I want. I think that way, if I clone it later, it's not gonna be as repeated. I mean, so I could try that. So just like pick random ones here and there. This, I don't want them to overlap with each other, with the like the rows here and stuff like that. So I'm gonna try to have them as separate as I can have them. Okay, so now if I use force field, maybe like a wind or something, could this help with making the fur laid out kind of on the ground? Something like this, I guess. I think I'll have to turn up the strength of it though. And maybe some noise. Yeah, the thing that I'm missing right now are kind of the flowy patterns that they have sometimes, like in the reference. This kind of has like a path. So. Cavity just for clarity. Here. Okay, I think let me just check more of these stuff in here. It is kind of hard to see. If I turn that off, actually. Perhaps turn up the radius could help. It's already at 100 though. But I guess that's actually not visible in the viewport. That's more of a render thing, like in here. Okay, let's turn the quality up a little bit, and then also give this a material. Nathan, I'm good. Making some weird story backgrounds as per usual. This one's just particularly disturbing. What about you? Yeah, I don't know why that's looking the way it is right now. Okay, what if I have something like this here, but then I have a separate material for the hair? Let's put this on this one. There. So now I can see it. It's just I gotta make the hair more dense so it covers most of the ground. Honestly, I'm surprised that this isn't lagging right now while I move this around. And they really optimized the Blender in the new version. If I were to move this, then it will lag, yeah, but just moving around like this, it's no problem, actually. Okay, let's make this dark. I don't know what color yet, I guess red-ish, sort of. Just to like match the hair. Also, I am also realizing that the holes are, since I'm using a wind modifier here, it's also pushing this part of the hair like that, which means that this is empty. So that's not good. Is that skin? No. This is supposed to be a ground made out of dog fur. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. Let me just actually make a sky texture so I can see better. .5 maybe, like that. Yeah, okay. And then I also need to okay, we can't really work with that this way. I gotta go up like this. So I want to check to see if I can randomize the hair color in different parts. Wasn't there like a hair info or particle info? Yeah, random. Okay, does this work? Doesn't seem like it, right now at least. It seems like everything is one color. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, what if I just give it a color ramp anyway? And give like random colors, see what happens. Okay, so yep, clearly that is not working. But could I instead maybe use the tint option here and like use a noise texture on that? I think that should work. But since we are using melanin, which is already like brown, if I plug this in, is it gonna automatically darken it, or will I have to do some other stuff here? Let's see. Yeah, I think it is working though, because you can see the parts separating. So the white part from the noise texture is the same color from the BSDF, but the black parts are the ones that are changing it. Okay, so if I look at the reference again, I guess if we get something like this, I think it would fit. So for that, first up, I need to make this less brown and more golden kind of color. It is hard to see with a denoiser though, unfortunately. So I could turn that off temporarily. Turn up the samples here. Okay, so we do need more hair, unfortunately. Okay, that's better. But now we need like, I think it's more golden in this picture, more shimmery, I guess. And then it kind of transitions into brown and then black. So if I can do that, that would be nice. Oh, there's a random color actually in here. I didn't see that. Okay, what happens if I turn that up? Let's go closer. Like more oily, reflective, kind of, yeah, I think. Shiny, I guess, is one word for it. I'm trying to spot the difference right now between the random color option and then just default. Let me check. So I'll open this separately here. Okay. So yeah, clearly the random color does give it lighter colors compared to just nothing on here. So I will have it turned on. I think it will help. And then let me check what the coat option does. Just turn this off. Okay, I think the world is a bit too bright right now. That does look better. Let me check what happens if I turn up the coat. I do see that something is changing, but it's hard to spot it right now. But I do like how this looks right now. Okay, so aside from, you know, this setup, I would like to deform this, like kind of make hills. So I think I'll try that, but I think the best way for that would be to use a lattice modifier for this. I think I'll just do that. Let's make a lattice right here. This cube. I don't remember exactly how to use this, but we'll see. Do origin to geometry. Okay, I think I'll just, for now, turn down the amount of hair strands first. Just for preview purposes. or rather, I guess, performance purposes. And then I'll just scale this up. So now I need to give this more cuts like this. And then after I do that, I am able to deform this. Maybe like one there. But first I need to give this the modifier for it. Like that. After subdivision should be fine. But I guess we could do it after particle system. We could try it. I don't know if it will work, but we'll see. Okay, so that doesn't seem like it's working. Or rather, maybe it's because maybe I scaled it wrong. That could have been it as well. I'll try to apply the scale and see it that way. Yeah, no, that doesn't work. Okay. Alright, let me just try it separately then, on like a sphere, just to test it out. Okay, so lattice, scale, and then let's do a couple of cuts. 4. And then let's add the same modifier here. It just makes it like shaped the same way as the lattice, which shouldn't be what's supposed to happen. Oh, okay, I think I get it. Okay, hold on. So the whole reason why this didn't work is because I scaled it from the actual edit mode of it, which is what actually deforms everything. So now if I do like, if I want to scale it into like a radius of this, then I'll just have to do it from the object mode. Yeah, so now it works perfectly, basically. So what I have to do is the same process here, except instead of scaling from the edit mode, we scale from object mode, like this. Make sure it's encompassed, like that. Yep, yeah, just gotta troubleshoot as per usual. Then we just add the cuts. Yep. And now I just repeat the same thing. So now it's fine. So I should be able to just take one and yeah. So now this is a very easy way to make hills on like a complex geometry. But as you can see, the hair doesn't follow, so maybe I should do it below the particle system, or I guess in this case above. Okay, yeah, so that works. So I'll just kind of, you know, randomize stuff here and there. We could even like add another array to this. I'm still trying to figure out the exact composition for this. We got hairy hills. Yep. That is an achievement. We tried that. So obviously right now it looks like trash because we reduced the amount of hair strands. But if I apply it back how it was, this is how it looks. Also, I've realized that I think at least every time I move my viewport, the stream kind of lags, but it also just could be OBS, and maybe it's not lagging for you guys. I don't know. Okay, so that's one part. Now I actually want to do. I wanted to do a trippy looking sky, like I don't know, something unnatural. But I also want to use sky textures lighting, which I can do. I just need to match it with whatever I make visually. Stream itself doesn't seem to be lagging on my end. That's good. Okay. So I think I'll just start out with simple gradient in here. Make sure it's Z-axis. Okay. Let's also maybe reduce the preview for now again, so I can work with this a bit smoother. Okay, so take this here. This actually should be the opposite, like that. Yep. Okay, if I maybe make another background here and I make this very bright. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, this is why I need separated light information, which means, let's say I use this light, but I want the sky to look like this. For that, I'd need to mix these like this. Then I would need camera. Which one was it actually? Wait, not that. Light info, I think, or light path. Yeah, this light path. Then I just plug in the camera array, and that's what happens. So now we are using this for the visual, but we are using this for the actual light on the scene. But now obviously I need to match this light to be the same as the sky. That doesn't look half bad. We could use that, why not? Now the problem being is that it's a bit too bright, so I'll turn that down. Okay. Check how that looks now with the actual preview here. We could actually pin this right here so it doesn't go away. Gotta go up, pin, and now I can just have the viewport and render option right here. So I don't have to keep on scrolling up and down. We got the visual equivalent to split auxes, just a bit more complicated. I don't know what that is actually. Or you mean like the cables that CRTs used to have, like red, white, and yellow cables? Unless it's not that. Yeah, I guess. I mean, it is similar. Okay, so that's just a foundation, I guess, for the sky. But now I want to distort it using some noise. Build that up. Some distortion. I just want it to look surreal. Okay. Can I go minuses in here? No, I can't. Okay. I guess can't I maybe just use the value slider here? Yeah, that works. So if I have this at like 1, I can use this to hide or reduce the light. But maybe this also clamps it. So maybe it's not the best idea. Okay, so since I don't really like that the light is being cast on most of this, I could make something like a, I don't know, like a plane or something like that above this, which would act as like a shadow cast object. Just gotta position it right. And let's turn this down. Okay, so where's the camera? There's the camera. Okay. And the light is coming from where again? I think it was like directly here, right? Well, it's not really easy to see right now. But I think it was that, so let's try that. It also might be too soft, and that's why the shadow isn't being cast directly. And let's also give this like no material, it's just like a black mesh. Okay, that's getting somewhere. So right now I'm kind of like making a gradient using light and shadow, you could say. I just gotta decide like where I want it to be. Might be a bit difficult with the hair, but I'll have to adjust the actual hair material in that case. And I also think I should give the actual ground material also some noise based on the colors of the hair strands. I do like how it's looking so far. It's not there yet, but I can see how it can look in the end. You know what? I could also do kind of like clouds, like cloud shadows. But like not actual clouds, but fake ones. I'm gonna add actual shadows. Or, I mean clouds, my bad. I'm gonna add clouds as well. But I will also add some fake shadows in case I don't want to use the actual cloud shadows. Just for computational reasons. We're gonna end up cutting holes into the untextured shadow caster. Not exactly, but kind of. I'm basically gonna use like a texture that's gonna act as a transparency map for it, like this. Then we're just gonna position it wherever it fits. Let's do that works, that's fine. So originally the kind of plan I had was there would be hills other than this in the distance, and the light would be hitting it from the other side, which would then cast like strong shadows, essentially making it like a silhouette. And then I wanted there to be like the weird tree made out of dog spine, because that's how it is in the story. Just kind of like a silhouette against the sun or whatever there is in this world. So I'm gonna probably work on that as well and see how that goes. Okay. I'm just checking like the shadow placements right now. That sounds metal as fuck. Yeah, I mean, I suppose. Okay, let me try ambient occlusion on for the holes. See how that goes. And I have to wait until it loads. Shouldn't take too long. Maybe like a minute or two. Alright. But I think this background, like, it's not gonna take that long to finish, I don't think. If I had to guess, probably maximum 5 hours. But that's just like an approximate, while also considering the render times, which I don't know how long they're gonna be, so we'll see. If I'm not able to get the render done in time with my PC, I usually just take it to my laptop, because my laptop actually has a better GPU to render. So that's like the last resort, basically. But for big projects, I think it's best to render out like still images, still frames of each scene if there is multiple. Then I throw it into DaVinci, I just do effects there, like remake them. and then I just render the animation itself on the laptop. So when that's done, I can just throw that animation in DaVinci as well, and the effects are just done. So it saves time in that way. So yeah, I don't really want to upgrade yet, the PC I mean, because like this does its job. The only reason why I would upgrade is, well, for one, if my PC just decides to die, and two, if I'm not able to deliver the projects to my clients in time, which I don't really have that issue. Okay, so I typically, kind of funny how long does that render take? Well, I don't know yet, because I still need to make the actual scene to be able to see what it takes to render a frame, and also then I have to figure out like what's the good amount of samples to use. Samples are kind of like, how do I explain? Like how many dots do you want on the screen? AKA like the more dots you have, the cleaner the image is. So obviously the more you have, the longer it takes. So you gotta find that sweet spot, and it ranges from project to project. But typically I go with like 128 or 256. I go even higher if it's like a still image, because there's not much of like time lost there. I'm just rendering a frame. But yeah, it depends on a project. Right now I'm just kind of previewing the ambient occlusion. It's not great right now because I have to adjust the whatever this is, the distance. That's a bit better. So now, since I adjusted the distance, it lets me add shadows where the holes are, which is what I wanted. So now it looks like that, as opposed to this. Also, this thing in the sky, that's not supposed to actually be in the render. That's just for the shadows. But I can just disable it here, and now it's just like, it's only using the shadows from it. It's just not visible. Yeah, I have to kind of adjust this here to figure out the perfect amount for the shadows to be visible. It's also another thing that is kind of messing with this right now is the ambient light, which technically I think it's supposed to be from sky texture, from this. But also I don't know why it's red. Like, if it's red, then that means it's from the actual visual in the back. Let me check. Okay. Yeah, this is from the sky texture. It's because I have the hue changed, so that's why it's red. Yeah, okay, so this is the ozone, which is like the bluish tint you get for the shadows in real life. most of the explanations are really easy to understand. I guess that's what being good for your work does. Well, I'm glad to hear that, because I don't really think I explain things that well, usually. Okay. You know, another way would be to actually not use this sky texture at all, and instead use like a direct light. It gives the nostalgic feeling of looking over your older brother's shoulder whilst he does his homework or something. That's nice. Okay. So here I'll try to add maybe like a sun, and let's try how that looks. Put down the temperature slider. So these are the shadows right now from this plane that I added. So that's why that's there. And the reason why the shadows are so dark is because of the ambient light, which is the light surrounding the entire project, kind of like basically this entire thing that you see outside of this. That's the world, and currently that color, this is just black. So if I turn that up right now, then you can see it's not as harsh, and even if I even like change the color, then that also changes. So I could give it like a red tint like that, and I could even like minimize the scale of the quote-unquote clouds like this and make them less harsh by adjusting the contrast. Okay. I think right now I'm getting a lot of fireflies, which are these white dots that you see. That happens often, but it also depends on the way you have your materials set up. In this case, I think it's the hair that might be a bit too glossy. Maybe the coat. Yeah, okay, so that fixed it, because I think the coat here gives it reflectiveness as well. Yeah, so that definitely helped to reduce it. Okay. Let me just check. Red ambience is ominous. Gives berserk eclipse vibes. Yeah. Okay, this is actually fine. I don't think I need ambient occlusion anymore. Just turn up the saturation here. I'm thinking maybe I could mix in some random colors, values here and there. His poke, fireflies be gone, and thus they were no more. Yep. This program is your playground, essentially. You can do whatever, as long as you know how to do it. Yeah. Or as the popular Doom Twitter account post goes, you control the buttons that you press. I think I should use multiply here, actually. Could try some other ones too, honestly. But wait, I don't even have it in the correct spot. Never mind. There we go. Okay. Could try giving it a different tint and see how that goes. Okay, not that great. Alright, that's fine. Yeah, I'm just kind of like experimenting right now, seeing what works. Okay. Yeah, color burn is definitely intense. Let's not do that for now. And turn the saturation down slightly. And let's maybe try to add rim light to this, which, I mean, for something like this, maybe it's better to do an area light, because it's like in a rectangle, as opposed to a spotlight. I can try both. Okay, so sometimes you need a lot of strength for it to be visible. Okay. So now we can see the line right here. Up here. I just gotta position it correctly. Like that. That's what we call a rim light. It's essentially just an outline. But like with a light source. I don't know how that managed to get all the way over here. That's interesting. I guess maybe if I do it from below. It's not really working that well. Rimlight, first word I recognize today. Honestly, getting good at blenders seems like a huge experience boost to studio photography skills. Yeah. I mean, you unlock a lot of options, creatively speaking, if you learn Blender. That then you can like incorporate in other stuff. Not necessarily has to be, or it doesn't necessarily has to be like purely 3D or digital. You can just like take a picture and like modify it with Blender, like you would with like Photoshop or something like that. But definitely more than just what Photoshop can do. Yeah, I'm just gonna link the temperature sliders here. Let's do copy as a driver and then paste there. So now I just have to move this one and both of them change. Okay. Now, was there an option for random scaling? Because I would like that. Don't really see any. Timing? This makes editing 2D images in Photoshop look like packing two rocks together. I think that did something. Gives path length. Oh, yeah, this is the one. Okay. So that's what randomizes the length for each of this. Okay, cool. Now, I'm thinking of adding the other hill in the distance and seeing how that goes. Could also match the clouds or whatever, the distortion of it to this, because it's the same, like same texture with the same properties. So I'm just going to turn up the distortion a little bit. Check maybe a different rotation for the sun. And I also want to have some sort of a bump texture. I think object should be fine for this. Bump. Detail. Okay, not that much though. It's not terrible. Okay. All right. Alright, let me try to match the colors now, somewhat, to the fur. Do the same coordinate system, like that. And then we just got golden-ish color. Something like this, maybe. And then mixed with a brown kind of color. And then we just plug that into the base color here, and yeah, that's not that great right now. I gotta already use the bump. And also I think the ambient occlusion is giving it a harsh look as well. Where the hair strands are. This actually fixes it. That's good. Because I guess that ignores whatever else is going on and just focuses on the general shape of the geometry. Yeah, okay. I just want to have a shadow right here, close to the camera. So I'll try that. I definitely don't want it to be harsh on the cutoff. So I might need to either change this here, or not that, I mean sky texture. Where is it? Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, we are using a sun texture. That's what it is here. Which is what we have to change the angle of in order to get softer shadows. Makes sense, and also how convenient to have a checkbox that fixes the problem seconds after being encountered. Yeah. I mean, it's also depending on how fast you can figure that out, because sometimes it is easy to miss that, and you kind of get lost on what to do. But I've been troubleshooting all my life at this point, so I think I may have developed some sort of a skill to just immediately snipe the solution. I may need to move the light sources from here. I don't know if I want to have them here necessarily, because I want to have another hill outside of this, somewhere in the distance, and I think I might use it on that, but we'll see. And also, I need some ambient light, please. If I can find it. You know what? We're not even using this actually. There we go. I kind of like the contrast between this, like red and blue, kind of. totally dependent on actually knowing what to do to fix the problem. Thread-based workflows are all great until you have to search for why something isn't working the way it should be. Yeah. Okay, this looks nice so far. Almost reminds me of like a twisted version of a Windows XP desktop wallpaper. Yeah. I guess I'll just duplicate this. But I definitely need to change this. Oh, they're using the same one. Happy Thanksgiving, man. Likewise, even though I don't celebrate it. Twisted version of a Windows XP wallpaper is crazy talk. I mean, maybe. Let's do this. Okay. Alright, can I maybe... I don't think I can just reset this. I think I had to do like a shape key here, but that's fine. Okay, so... So now I just kind of want a hill in the distance. So let's try to do that. Which story are you basing the backdrop on? What's the plan and the idea, if you don't mind asking? Me asking. So I'm not allowed to say exactly what story it is, but the idea for the backdrop is that this whole world is made out of like different parts of a dog. Like the ground is like a dog fur and flesh, I guess. Trees are like dog spines. There's like tails and whatever else on the ground. So it's a very, very odd story. It's very trippy. It does look very nice, so it just looks like a nice wheat grass field on the first look until you look at it closer. Yeah, that's pretty neat. Good luck, man. Thank you. Honestly, I could just make a different mesh altogether and just use the same like texture as this. Okay, let me just make like a landscape real quick. See here what fits better as a foundation. Not that. I want like a simple hill. It's definitely not it. Okay. I mean, I can just like turn down the depth of it, and that's gonna make it smooth. So that works. We just kind of place it somewhere in the distance. Blink the material. Okay. I think I do want to have some sort of a fall off in terms of like a mist or a fog, kind of. Maybe. We'll see. Okay. That's not too bad so far. Let me just experiment with the sun again. Okay. That's imposing, alright. Giant mountains of fur and flesh. Yep. Wait until I add tails and other parts. Yeah, that's definitely not. Yeah, I'm just gonna make a change here for this. That's better. Okay. Alright, so now the only thing I think is that the shadows need to be darker. Like this. Yeah, I think I like that. And then I will have a tree here or somewhere here, and that's gonna be kind of like a silhouette, at least I hope. Also, I gotta drink my medicine, so I will be right back. So just a moment. I'm back. Spider in a ear canal is also just a horrible thought to have. Yeah, well, that one actually isn't an ear. That's actually a dirt tunnel. Thank you. I think I'm just trying to, you know, decide what to do with this right now. Let's turn off the visibility aside from the shadow. I do like this kind of gradient where it's like it's dark but not too dark, and then this side is light and then it's dark again up there. Okay. Maybe I should give the ground a bit more of a dark color where the patches are randomly scattered, aside from this. Like maybe like that. Not sure how much that's gonna help, but we'll see. That's what's it doing right now. So yeah, maybe, I don't know. Sometimes you need ambient occlusion, sometimes you don't. Here I thought this was a spider with a mysterious light source in a ear. Feels a bit safer to be in a dirt burrow of a spider instead of it being in a ear. Well, you're like the second person that has thought that it was in a ear canal. So, but I mean, I guess it's like a multi-interpretation type visual. It does look like the ear as well, but yeah, it's like both at the same time. Depending on who you ask. Okay, so let me just like throw on some effects just to preview. Just like quick ones. So okay. Let me pause it actually. Yeah, it's not gonna be too visible right now. Noise. Very slight amount in the corners would be nice, I think. It's not bad. I like it. Alright, let me check with all of this and then resume that. Okay. Not bad. Okay, so I think now I'm just gonna get to like other stuff, like the trees and stuff. I'm just gonna try to follow this. That does look banger, the way the shadow falls on the mountains works well. Yeah. Haven't even added the clouds yet, so we'll see how that works. But yeah, let me just try and make this now. Okay, maybe I should have gotten more references than just the side view. Check. Looks fine. Try that, I guess. Probably have this like on the side. Yep. So let's get to this, I guess. I'm trying to figure out what's the best shape to start with. Maybe like subdivided cube could work. Just casually Google stocks, fine, yeah. There's the job that I have. Then let's do 2 cuts, I suppose, something like this, so that these sides can then extrude. And it seems the bottom part actually is longer, so I'll have that be like this or something. Doesn't have to be perfect because it's gonna be mostly in the back. So but I think I do need to mirror this so it's the same on the other side. the location, I think, or not. Right. Yep. And then the top side is maybe thinner than this. I'm just roughly trying to match this thing as best I can. Okay, well, that's interesting. That's fine, I guess. Okay. Big cut right there, and it's kind of like curved as well. Okay. It's a bit hard to know exactly where I'm supposed to go with this in terms of like curvature, but I'll figure it out. I can see it in there. Okay. Also, recently I realized while I was cleaning out my PC and also replacing the thermal paste on my CPU, I just out of curiosity googled the correct position for the CPU cooler fans, because I didn't know what the, which way was it like intaking the air, and then which way was it outputting the air. So after I checked that, I think I had them wrong, like in the wrong direction for at least a couple of months. And after I switched it out, the temperature just fixed itself. And I was always like just constantly trying to figure out why my CPU was so hot. I had it capped, or I still have it like limited to 80 Celsius from BIOS, just in case. But yeah, now I understand why my PC was getting hot to touch. Not too hot, but like warm to touch. But now it's like just cold every time. It doesn't matter what you're doing, it's always just never warm anymore. But I suppose you could like you could deliberately swap the case fans and like rotate them in winter in case you want to have like a personal heater as you play. Put it beneath your desk for a free foot warmer. Yeah, I have it like below as well right now on the right side. It was generating enough heat to actually warm this area at least. Yeah, I think I should move this part below, like this maybe. And then I'll just kind of array this on a curve. Okay. Apply this. Okay, so now I'll just make a curve, a Bezier curve. And then I need an array. Was there a method for this to use a curve with the array, or was there not? Yeah, there is, right there. Okay. Yep, cool. And now I just do that. Just gotta click on the curve though. There it is. I'll just like enable. Where is it? There. So I can like see it through the mesh. Now you got a dock spine string, or maybe like a door bead charm. Yeah. Basically. So now I have to turn this into a tree. Somehow. And I do not think I can just duplicate this. Oh, never mind. Alright. That's good. But the bad part is that this radius is independent from that. Unless I can... Oh, okay. That works. Yep. Problem solved. Cool. Also, I should maybe also have some sort of connection piece, I think. So like this. I think that should work. Yeah. So now we just turn this into a tree. Okay, there we go. This will take a bit of time, but like after I have the first one, I can just essentially duplicate it and then maybe change up the other ones a little bit if they end up looking the same. You know, I didn't think I would be making a tree made out of dog spines. So here we are. This story sounds crazy though, dog spine trees. Dog spine trees isn't even scratching the surface. You made an account from Lonely Broadcast, a treat to watch on YouTube. Glad to hear that. I mean, was it... Well, did you not like it otherwise? What kind of tree are you going for, by the way? No idea. Although... Actually... Wait a minute. I just got an idea. Because, so I have a tree generator, or, you know, it's built into Blender. I could just use that, actually, as, like, the guide. Nah, it's a good story, but the backdrop completes it, like a rain in the backdrop of a Kurosawa film. Now I get it. I don't know how to explain it, but it's subtle but essential. Happy to hear it. Yeah, I'm glad that people like, or rather enjoy the backdrops alongside the story. It's very nice. Okay, I think what I'll do is this. So I'm just gonna get this type of a tree guide going on, and then we can just use this for the spine or whatever, because this is a curve. These are all of these curves, right? And so I can just go here technically, and then first off I need to turn off the geometry here though. There. And now I can use this like that. But yeah, it's definitely not the greatest because I think there's too much going on. I mean, it still works in its own way, but I think I'll just mess around with the settings. Okay. Let's turn that off for now. Let's just turn this off as well. Okay. So let's try this one more time. And then I should go to the geometry of it, pretty sure. Or I don't know, it could be anywhere, honestly. Maybe making them thinner or the branches would make it less messy. Yeah, probably. That's what I'm trying to find. Okay, let's turn down the levels here. Maybe something like this could work. Maybe. What else do we have? Branch radius, that's probably just a geometry. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we can just turn it off, honestly, because we don't need it. But, I'm just trying to find where the root is, like this base right here, because I kind of want to make it taller. If I can. This is all geometry based. So, branch growth maybe? Oh, there we go. Okay, that also makes it really stretched. So that's kind of a problem. Length variation. I do want them to look a bit trippy as well. Are there dog ears as a replacement for leaves? I think there was something, actually. I don't think it was the ears, though. I'll have to double check. Okay. If I want to get into Blender, where do you recommend I start? Well, the way I started was I just Googled whatever I wanted to make specifically. Like, very specifically. And I just did that. I mean, at first I was just doing like cube renders, different cubes with like, I don't know, sci-fi kind of look to them, I guess. So you could do the same type of method. Yeah, I just personally don't like sitting through specific, or rather, not really specific, but like generalized tutorials where they explain every single thing that they do. But I mean, for some people that might be better. For me, it's really not the way to go. Let me just put this one somewhere. But also maybe apply it. First I will duplicate it just in case I don't like how it looks in the end. So now I have this mesh that I can do, like, I don't know, I could just like distribute it, like scatter it around as well. I think there's a mesh now. Or not a mesh, I mean modifier for that, rather than going into geometry nodes. You can just do that from here. It's 11:30 p.m. here. Good night, catch you next time. Alright, thanks for tuning in. It seems a lot like programming. There is very much to learn in a generalized walkthrough. Makes more sense to just learn on a case-by-case basis, yeah. Because like sometimes you just don't want to read the whole Bible. You just want to read like a certain part of it. If that analogy makes sense, because yeah, like I just want to make, I don't know, a shape that looks like a pizza and nothing else. Okay. Let me compare this to a human model, just to see what the size is. Okay, so steak, which one was it? This? Yeah, that works. So this is definitely a bit too big as far as the dog spine goes. So let me just adjust that. That could work. Yeah, more friendly looking spines would be freakier maybe. Yeah. I could also twist them. Okay. Okay, what else do we have? We could also randomize some of them actually. Yeah. So, but depends on what way we want it to be randomized. Like this maybe. That's pretty gnarly looking already. It doesn't even have a proper texture yet. Yep. Okay. Also, apologies, but I gotta be right back again for another medicine. So, be right back. Hello. Thank you. Okay, so for the texture, I guess like kind of yellowish color would be good for this. Let me see. Maybe like a noise texture for it. And then color ramp. Let's do something like this. Yeah, that should work. Because these aren't going to be too visible. Let me just duplicate it, and I'll just apply it here. So let's do apply of the array. Well, that's not what I meant, but okay, that works too. Yeah. Okay, so I haven't used new modifiers yet, but I want to try the distribution one. If I can find where it is. Scatter. I think it's this actually. Oh boy. What the fuck? Okay, let me just duplicate that. Then I'll just disable, or rather remove unnecessary stuff. Okay. Okay, so those are the points, I would assume. We don't need that many. Why are they getting bigger? Amount, density. Okay. Alright, let's name this tree. And then let's do tree here. Wait, was this like named already? That's 3.002. Okay. Okay, there we go. And then there should be a randomization option somewhere. There you go. Z should be just like whole 360. And then scale could also be random a little bit. But another problem is that I should have applied the lattice modifier, but I mean I can just do that now. So if I do this, yep, there you go. Problem solved. Okay. We definitely don't need it this much though. And I would like to turn that off. Yep. Something like that, maybe. But I think I do wanna make a different variation of it, so that it's not exactly the same. Okay. So I'll just do a duplicate, I think. And now we're in the forest of dogs, pine trees. How wonderful, charming, yep. Definitely fits the horror theme. Could maybe parent that together like this, then duplicate it. I think I'll just like remove some of them and then deform the other ones. Okay. Okay, so next I need a collection for this, not like that. And trees. There we go. So now instead of an object, I'll just pick the collection so that it just picks both of them randomly. So let's do trees. Okay, 1 second. Pick instance, that's where it is, yep. Okay, so now it's just randomly picking one or the other, basically. I do really like that Blender now has the option to do geometry nodes based effects, but with modifiers. Not all of them obviously, but stuff like this is usually what I use anyway, so it's very helpful. Is there a vertex paint option in this, actually? Yep, you can definitely do that, actually, which is really good. So that then I can just choose it to not pick these parts, because I don't want the trees to be in the hole. Because I'm thinking maybe like I should just have them on the main ground mesh like this, but we have to make sure it's after the particle system, I think. I'll just try it, see what happens. Okay, so now obviously it's disabled right now because we have this turned off. Okay, so just delete this. Go to here. There we go. So now it's on the actual ground. I'll be right back. And to think that Blender is a free software. Yeah, it's really good. We could probably scatter the trees on these as well, because why not? Okay, so okay, that's obviously an issue because we scaled this, so I have to apply that now so that these also, you know, update. The current scene would already go hard as a wallpaper. You know, your Windows XP comment wasn't too far off. Yeah. Okay, let me see something. I'm just, like, the only thing I'm trying to do right now is have them kind of do a zigzag kind of movement, if I can. Let's not do this like with a gajillion of the hair strands. Maybe like 50. There's this here. I guess I could try that. Maybe the wave would work. It is interesting. But I think this is deforming individual strands rather than kind of a big area, which is what I'm trying to do. But I guess it also does have that property, now that I look at it from here. It's kind of both at the same time. I might need to turn up the amount of quality steps to this. I think it was this. Yeah. I could also check how it looks like on just one. Maybe that's actually enough. I mean, yeah, because like if you look at how a dog fur looks like up close, it's not really deformed if you look at individual of them. They're kind of just flowing, which this basically is that in a way. Okay. So the one thing that I need also is I think I'll have to have the same strands here, at least on the horizon line, or I guess the rim light area, because this is way too smooth right now. I think I will first give it what is it, like a vertex paint, like a weight map, to decide where I want them to be. So I'll just do that real quick. Something like this. Because we definitely don't need it everywhere, because that would be too performance heavy and also unnecessary. So we just pick parts that matter in this case. And then should just be able to copy it over like that, and then we just like pick where this goes. And that's true, I can just imagine walking around there would feel like a really thick carpet that tries to trap your feet while walking. Yeah. Speaking of trapping, there was a part in the story where the main guy just gets caught by dog paws, I think. So I have a reference picture for that, like the dog paws to muzzle, so I might just do that as well. So now I go all the way down to field weights, or not that actually, vertex groups. Just pick this. So now they only appear where I painted. Let me check how that looks. Prime moss like dog paws coming up. Yeah, that could work. Okay, I'll just paint a little bit more. Okay. Okay, so now I'll just do the same thing with these, basically. See what happens. You know what? I have an idea. But to turn this on though. Okay. Let's also turn off this for a second. And also this. And this. Okay. So now I know where to put the weight paint. Without needing to wait for the render to finish. Okay. Just painting slowly but surely. Yeah, there we go. And now just copy. Yep. Cool. Now I just select everything and alt click, enable everything back, or every tree rather. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, I like it. It's pretty cool. Okay. So I'll just take a screenshot of this now and send it to Harry. See what he says. Should probably get rid of this guy right here. Wait, why do I have two of them? Oh, okay. Take a picture of that. yeah, sent it to them, so I'll just wait and see what they say as well. In the meantime, I'll just make the rest of the elements. That's pretty good for a foundation. Okay. I do have another reference for this though. There we go. Okay, so now I guess I'll just use the same method for the actual paw. Yeah. Like almost there. That's so cool. Thank you. Okay. I could use a multi-res modifier for sculpting, but I don't think it's necessary. Just gonna give it some deformation, so it's not entirely rectangular. I mean, this should work, I think. It's not supposed to be here. Go. Okay, so just in case I want to change something, I'll just duplicate this, and I'll turn off the original. Okay. And then I'll just like apply these here. We could also maybe use a decimate modifier so we can reduce some of the polys here, like that, because we don't need everything. Something like that should be fine. Join that together. And then I'll just rotate this. Okay. And then that's gonna be the default rotation, so that then I can scatter it here. Okay. So let's add another scatter surface, and it's gonna be a mess at first, as you can see. I don't know why that's happening, but anyway. This is gonna be very scary. Gonna be scary. Well, since I know this story, I don't know if it's... I feel like it's more disturbing / disgusting than it is scary, personally. Okay. I see them, they're just were very small, so I'll make them bigger, maybe. Let me check though. I mean, this seems normal in terms of like real life dimensions, but we could also just make them abnormal. Why are they flying off though? Okay. I mean, we can. Oh, I was also using offset, that's why. Never mind. Didn't see that. There we go. Alright. Now I just need to give it the paw texture, but also technically this should have fur on it as well, but I'll just check how it looks first. Go. Progress. Do you have to add further to just one paw to add texture to all of them? Like, I could just use a texture, because like even if I added fur on this, I don't think it would be visible. So I don't think there's a point. But I can just like make it visible in the silhouette more than like up close. Okay. And next, I think I'll just make the tail, which should be very easy. Oh. I guess this is basically it. I have no idea how I'm clicking here and then that one is being selected. I don't know what's happening in that department. Okay. Okay, that's definitely... Wait, no, that should be the one. Why is it not randomizing? Huh. But it's not working? Confused. Okay, 1 second. So that's the palm model, yeah. And then we got this one, which should be the tail. But I do not see any tail, I don't think, which is weird. Oh, the density is at like 0, that's why. Okay. Alright. Now I just pick a seed that has some of it in front, like this maybe. Just need to rotate it a bit. Let's put this back to 10 just so I can work better. Okay. Alright, I think that should be good enough for now. And then I should add some clouds to this as well. I do want the trees to be a bit more tilted, because I think right now they're on one level. So let's fix that. So something like that, basically. And this should be 360, not 6 degrees. There we go. Maybe a bit less on this rotation. And we could maybe try a different seed as well. So now that's the problem. And to fix that, I think I'll just make a new like a weight paint, which I'll basically select it so that wherever there's a hole right here, it's not going to be the spawn point for those trees. So I'll just take this, invert that, and then assign it. So now if I look at the weight paint, you can see the red part is where it's gonna spawn, and then the blue part is where it's not gonna spawn. But I think I'll need to make it a bit better. So like maybe just select this area as well. And then remove. And maybe a bit of a blur could work. I don't think it matters here that much, to be honest. Okay, so now I need to take this density and then pick this group. Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah, forgot that density also means, you know, the amount of how much there's gonna be. That's how I was just picking like where it goes, but I think that's actually the distribution mask here. Yeah, so let's just use that instead. There we go. It's the first time I'm using this modifier, so I can mess some things up because of that. But I mean, it's not that hard, honestly. It's really easy to control, since I am used to the geometry nodes method of it, which is basically this. Like it literally is geometry nodes, I'm pretty sure. If I go here, yeah. Except this is way more convoluted than what I usually would do. But yeah, it's like a more convenient version. But it's not bad. Do 300. And then let me try giving this some depth of field, at least a little bit. Maybe like on this tree right here could work. Okay, so if we go to the camera, enable the depth of field, then let me just look at this real close. Yeah, that's good. It will just blur it a little bit in the back, basically. That's all this does. I can make it more accentuated if I wanted to. Like, let's say, I don't know, 0.4. Then it's very blurred. But when you do that, you also make it look like it's a miniature, which we don't really want. So 2 should be fine for this. Alright, let me just do some clouds now. And I think I'll just end it with that, the stream, and then I'll continue tomorrow. But let's just do the clouds first off. So, usually how I do clouds is I just take a simple sphere like this. Then I make a basic shape out of it, like a very simple shape of what I want the cloud to look like as a general area, I guess. Like maybe like this, I don't know, something like this. Maybe it has a bit of a curvature like that, going up, kind of like a wispy cloud. Does it come with cheese? The clouds? Not that I'm aware of, but maybe. Okay, let's say this is like the first one, right? So now we need to add volume, if I can find where it is. There. So an empty volume like this. So right now you don't really see anything aside from this right here, because you need to pick a modifier which will transform this mesh into a volume. So if I pick this, now you can kind of see a bit of a smoke coming out of it. I'll just make it a wireframe like that, so it's a bit more visible. Then we gotta turn up the resolution. I usually go 256 or 128 depending on the situation. But then this is the crucial part, which is adding the displacement, which will make it look like a cloud. So I just need to turn up the strength. So now you can see these popping up. I think I'll give it a bit more resolution. And then I have to just tweak it, essentially. Let's also parent. I'm just trying to click on this. There we go. I'm gonna parent the volumetric to this. So it's a bit, it makes sense, because if I didn't do that, then it wouldn't really follow. So now it can move wherever I want it to be. So let's move it a bit further back, maybe like here, and then we can upscale it. And then just mess with the displacement more. So now it's starting to look like a cloud. And it automatically should have like a volume material setup right here, which is nice. So if I go to preview, I just need to disable this mesh from the camera and everything else, so that only the volume part is visible. So now you can see the cloud right there. It's not the greatest thing ever right now, but it's a start. So I can just pick some parts, scale them, do whatever until I'm satisfied with the shape. I could even sculpt it if I wanted to, like this. Just, I guess it doesn't really update until you get out of it. And yeah, I mean, then you can just like do whatever you want, really. There's no limit. Okay. Yep, that's not bad. At least I think it's not that bad. Okay. Just gonna have to tweak it a bit more here and there, but this is the general idea. Let's do 300 on that. And I think now one of the main things I'm noticing is that the spine trees are kind of blending in with the mountain, or the hill rather. So I need to add some lights for that. Yeah, basically that's generally what I'm noticing right now. Okay, so let's try that. I think it's this tree, if I'm not mistaken. So I'll just add a spotlight to it. Okay. Funny how different EV looks right now compared to Cycles, but to be fair, you can make some really cool stuff with EV as well. It's just that if you're making something with EV, then you have to adapt to that. You can't just make a Cycles render and then expect it to look good in EV. Now let's just turn this up. Trying to figure out where this light is. That might actually be this tree here. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's just adjust now. The only thing I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to get the edges visible, not the whole thing, but like just the edges if I can. Okay. That's definitely not the right angle for this. And I should probably make a light linking group so that the light source only affects the tree. So let's now take the tree objects here and then just drag them there. So now the light only affects this tree. So that's good. I kind of like this too. Just maybe that area could be a bit brighter. And it's okay if it doesn't make sense logically, because like this entire environment is literally made out of like a dog elements. So it's surreal to begin with. I mean, it's getting there, but still not really there yet. Then I'll just need to reduce the amount of this so it's not like too much, because we don't want it to be the main focal point. It's pretty cool so far. I like how it looks visually overall in terms of like colors. I'll just need to change the material on this tail right here, make it more rough. This. Okay, I'll just screenshot this and send it to Harry for an update. Wait, I think that should be it for now. I'll just continue tomorrow. Mainly gonna be working on like animation probably, and some other stuff if I think of any to like model. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.